What were your emotions going into the fight, during the fight, and after the fight? I believe something incredible happened, and you were very emotional. You had a moment with your family. Can you just talk about it?
Yeah. So I was on the Ultimate Fighter 3. I won that, and I got a UFC contract. My first fight was at UFC 66, MGM Grand 2005. UFC 66, Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell 2. That was the main event, and of course I'm from Clitheroe. Do you know what I mean? I'm in Las Vegas fighting on a pay-per-view. It was just surreal. It was mind-blowing, you know. But a lot of pressure, because when you get there, that's just when the hard work starts. A lot of people think when they get to the UFC that they've made it. You haven't made it, and if you don't win your fights, you're down the road. Simple as that. So there was a lot of pressure. I won that fight, and then I got a big bonus of Dana White afterwards, and you know, my family, we were skint. We were absolutely flat broke. We were still skint then. So when Dana gave me that big bonus, you know, I ran out to my wife. She was sat up in the stands by herself. And ran up to her, showed her the check. I mean, it wasn't so much about the money. Do you know what I mean? It was more about, you know, this gamble. Because this was 2003. I started doing this. It wasn't like it is now. If we did an expo, you know, there'd be far less of you weirdos here. So yeah, that was a beautiful moment. Thank you, sir.
One last thing.
Hogging the mic.
One last thing. I mean, it's with how you, the introduction of the BYM part. I mean, the song plays and then it says "and new middleweight champion Michael Bisping." Don't you think it would be cooler if it was "and still" because you're still a champion?
Well, thank you very much, but I'm sure George St. Pierre would argue with that. He's around there somewhere. The little lizard. He choked me out. Let's get him! I'll give a tenner to whoever sparks George. I'm only kidding, George is the man. Love that guy. There's not a better person I would have rather lost my belt to. Hello, mate, how are you? My mate from the hotel. Go on, that sounded weird, didn't it? Easy to... the way you were looking at me this morning, though, I thought you were going to give me a kiss. Wouldn't take his eyes off me. Come on.
So, are you intoxicated? No, but...
No, I'm not.
My actual question is, so you're on the old...
Oh, a round of applause for this guy. I'm sorry, mate. No, come on. No, I need your sympathy. No. He's a very, very nice man, and he had probably a very in-depth, beautiful interview planned out, but I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, he was. He told me where to shove it.
I'm sorry, if there's any kids, don't use bad language. Do not use bad language. It's not big, and it's not clever. You're not a kid, you're just a knobhead. Right, go on, who's next?
So you're in the Ultimate Fighter house, and so how do you deal with like you, John Pickett, and a bunch of US drunk wankers whilst you try to prep for a fist fight with lads? Like, how do you get yourself into the mindset when there's so many distractions and stuff like that?
It wasn't hard, to be honest. You know, 16 guys living in a house, we're all gonna fight, you know, but the problem was when people lost, as you said, they were just explaining for anyone that doesn't know what he's talking about. When you've lost on the Ultimate Fighter, you're still in the house, but you're still trapped there for 6 weeks, so you're gonna be, you're not training anymore. They're just getting pissed up every night and trashing the place, but it is what it is. You know, I'd have been doing the same thing if I got knocked out and I wasn't in the tournament. It's fair play to you.
I heard that's why they had to get rid of booze on the show.
Yeah. Go on, mate.